In the heart of a quaint village nestled among ancient, whispering forests, I, Alara, find myself preparing for a date unlike any other. As the full moon casts its silvery glow, bathing the cobblestone streets in an ethereal light, I ready myself with a blend of anticipation and curiosity. I am a silversmith by trade, my hands more accustomed to the delicate dance of hammer and anvil than the rituals of courtship. Yet tonight, I venture into the realm of romantic encounters. My date is Gareth, a man whose reputation precedes him, a figure celebrated for his bravado and strength. As he approaches, his silhouette stark against the moonlit backdrop, his presence seems to command the night itself. Gareth is dressed impeccably, his attire carefully chosen to accentuate his robust frame and confident stride. However, as we meet, it becomes apparent that Gareth's intention is to impress by playing the part of what he believes to be a real man. Boastful, excessively macho, and unyieldingly assertive. He speaks with a booming voice, each word dripping with self-assurance, recounting tales of his exploits and adventures that seem more suited to mythical heroes than the man before me. I listen, my expression composed, yet my mind adrift. My life as a silversmith has taught me the value of authenticity, the unspoken beauty of raw, unpolished silver before it is transformed into something delicate and revered. Similarly, I yearn for a connection that is genuine and sincere, not the ostentatious display Gareth offers. As he continues, his stories swelling in grandeur, I feel a gentle sigh escape me. This isn't what captivates my heart. Not these rehearsed lines or the theatrical portrayal of masculinity. In the soft lunar light, I find myself longing not for a showman, but for a soulmate. Someone who understands that strength is not declared, it is demonstrated through acts of kindness, that understanding and respect. Tonight, under the watchful eyes of the stars, I realize that this meeting, though cloaked in the promise of romance, may very well end in revelation, for both Gareth and myself. For as much as he is lost in his performance, I am firm in my search for something profoundly real. This is my story time, a bedtime story that speaks of moonlit truths and the quest for authenticity in a world that often favors the disguise. As we meander through the narrow, moonlit streets of the village, Gareth's voice fills the night air, echoing off the ancient stone walls. He speaks with great enthusiasm, his words laden with self-praise as he recounts his acts of strength and bravery. But with each boastful tale, I find my interest waning further. The night is beautiful, serene, yet his voice seems to disrupt the peaceful harmony of the moonlit surroundings. I stop under the boughs of an old willow tree, its leaves whispering secrets much older than either of us. Here, in the quietude broken only by his loud declarations, I turn to face him. The moonlight casts shadows across his features, highlighting the surprise in his eyes as I interrupt his monologue. Gareth, I begin, my voice calm yet firm. I appreciate your efforts to impress me, but what I truly value is sincerity and kindness. The words hang between us, stark and bold against the softness of the evening. I continue, sharing pieces of my own life, my struggles and triumphs as a silversmith, the sweat and tears that have afforded me the small luxuries I possess, like my beloved silver car, crafted from my own designs. My voice is steady, but inside, emotions swirl, frustration at feeling misunderstood, a longing for a connection rooted in genuine respect and shared values. I need someone who understands and respects these values, I tell him, not someone who feels the need to play a role. The revelation seems to strike Gareth more profoundly than I anticipated. His posture softens, the facade of bravado faltering under the weight of sincerity. After a moment of silence, heavy with unspoken thoughts, I gently ask him to leave. It's a difficult moment, charged with a mix of relief and sorrow. Gareth nods, a touch of humility in his eyes, perhaps understanding for the first time the depth of the disconnect between us. He walks away, his figure gradually merging with the shadows of the night. I watch him disappear, a part of me feeling for him, yet knowing this was the necessary end. Alone, I turn to gaze at the vast starry sky above, the constellations, a glittering tapestry of ancient stories. The air is cool, and the gentle rustling of the willow soothes my stirred emotions. Here, under the vastness of the cosmos, I reflect on the solitude that wraps around me like a soft cloak. This moment, poignant yet empowering, reaffirms my belief in staying true to oneself. It's a story a bedtime narrative that underscores the power of authenticity, a lesson as timeless as the stars under which it unfolds. As I drive away from the village, the hum of the engine is a soft murmur compared to the tumult of emotions within me. The road winds through the countryside, leading me to a secluded lake known only to those who cherish the village's ancient stories. Here, under the canvas of the starlit sky, I stop the car and step out, drawn to the tranquil waters that mirror the heavens above. The lake, shrouded in the quiet of the night, offers a sanctuary of peace. I walk to its edge, the soft grass cool beneath my feet, and sit down to gaze at the stars. Their light seems to echo the stirrings of my heart, a mix of relief from leaving a pretense behind and a poignant touch of loneliness. As I lose myself in the cosmic spectacle, a gentle voice breaks the silence. I turn to see an elderly woman standing beside me, her presence seemingly as timeless as the landscape. Her eyes twinkle with a knowing light, and she introduces herself as Mira. But she is no ordinary elder. Mira reveals herself to be a celestial guardian, a keeper of the village's lore and the mysteries of the night sky. Mira, with a voice as soothing as the lake's lapping waves, tells me of an ancient quest. It is a journey few have known and even fewer have embarked upon, meant only for those with true inner strength and wisdom. The tale she weaves is one of enchanted forests, where trees whisper secrets, of mystic rivers whose waters can mirror one's soul, and of deep mountains harboring ancient beings. As Mira describes the quest, something within me stirs, a call to adventure that resonates with my core. Perhaps it is the loneliness seeking company, or the relief seeking purpose. But I find myself captivated, eager to embark on this journey. Motivated by Mira's story and the promise of discovering depths of strength I have yet to explore, I rise to the challenge. The celestial guardian offers me a small, luminescent stone to guide me, a beacon through the darkest paths. With a heart full of resolve and a spirit ignited by the possibility of new understanding, as I set forth. The quest takes me through realms that seem spun from the very fabric of dreams. Enchanted forests envelop me, their ancient trees nodding in silent encouragement, whispering winds carrying tales of courage. I cross mystic rivers, their waters cool and clear, each sip seeming to fill me with clarity and resolve. The journey is not without its trials. Challenges emerge, testing my courage, intellect, and heart. At times, I face puzzles woven from riddles of nature. At others, encounters that require me to confront my deepest fears. With each step, each trial overcome, I feel myself transforming, growing not just in strength, but in understanding, the true essence of wisdom. The journey becomes more than a quest. It is a pilgrimage towards understanding the depths of my own spirit and the bonds that connect me to the world around me. This story, this bedtime tale I find myself living, is no longer just about solitude or seeking connection. It is a voyage of the soul, where each starlit night and each whispered secret of the forest leads me closer to the wisdom I seek. As my journey through the mystical lands unfolds, each challenge met and each barrier overcome heralds a transformation within me, deeper and more profound than I had ever anticipated. The enchanted forests, the mystic rivers, and the mountain depths not only test my resolve, but also reveal treasures of insight and magical artifacts, each bearing lessons of their own. In the heart of an ancient grove, I find a mirror framed in vines that shows not one's face but one's true essence. As I gaze into it, I see not just Alara the silversmith, but Alara the seeker, the dreamer, the warrior. It's a revelation that brings with it a profound self-awareness, a realization that strength is not born of muscle and might, but of integrity and inner resolve. Further along my path, I encounter beings of myth and magic. There are the whispering sprites, small and mischievous, yet wise beyond years, who teach me the language of the wind and the trees. There's the old guardian of the river, a serpentine creature with eyes like molten gold, who challenges me to a battle of wits, rewarding me with a scale that shimmers with the light of truth when I succeed. Each creature, each character I meet along the way looks beyond the surface, seeing and appreciating me for who I truly am, valuing my spirit rather than the role I am expected to play. These encounters weave into my being a new tapestry of identity, one rich with the hues of courage, wisdom, and authenticity. As I return to the village, carrying with me the artifacts and the myriad tales of my adventures, I am no longer just the woman who shaped silver, but a heroine who has shaped her destiny. My return is met with wonder and admiration. The tales of my journey spread quickly, igniting sparks of inspiration throughout the village. I share stories of the whispering sprites, the guardian of the river, and the mirror in the grove, not just as tales of adventure, but as parables of self-discovery and truth. Young women and men who once felt confined by the narrow roles society had carved out for them now look to me as a symbol of what can be achieved when one dares to venture beyond the known. They see in my story a permission to explore, to question, and to discover their own true selves, free from the stereotypes that have long dictated their paths. As the moon cycles renew and the seasons shift, my small workshop becomes a place of gathering, not just for those seeking silver, but for those seeking stories. It is here, amid the clink of hammer and anvil, that new legends are forged. Stories of villagers young and old who embark on their own quests, guided by the courage they find in the bedtime stories of Alara's transformations. My journey becomes not just my own, but a shared odyssey, a communal bedtime story woven into the very fabric of the village's history, inspiring all to embrace the strength found in authenticity and truth. Years have woven silver threads into my hair, and the paths I once walked are etched deep into the lines of my face. Now, under the same expansive moonlit sky that once set the stage for my own journey, I find myself surrounded by the eager faces of the village children. They gather around me, their eyes wide with wonder, as the moon casts its gentle glow, turning the ordinary into the mystical right before our eyes. We sit in a circle on the soft grass, the ancient trees around us standing as silent witnesses, much like they did all those years ago. With a calm and reflective voice, I begin to recount the adventures that transformed not only my life, but also the spirit of our village. The children listen, captivated, as I weave tales of the whispering sprites, the wise river guardian, and the magical mirror that revealed one's true essence. With each story, I emphasize the values that guided me through those mystical lands, the importance of authenticity, the strength that comes from embracing one's true self, and the courage required to challenge societal expectations. My tales are not just narratives of past adventures. They are lessons imbued with the wisdom gained through my experiences. As the night deepens, the stars above seem to listen, their twinkling almost like nods of approval. I share how each challenge taught me more about myself, and how each encounter with the mythical beings of the forest and rivers taught me the power of seeing beyond appearances. The children, their imaginations alight with visions of enchanted woods and magical creatures, begin to understand that these stories are not just relics of a bygone adventure, but torches to light their own paths. They learn that courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to face it. And authenticity is not simply being oneself, but embracing and expressing that self without reservation. As our storytelling session comes to a close, I look at these young faces glowing with the light of the moon and the fire of newly kindled dreams. I realize that my legacy is not just in the tales of my past, but in the hopes they inspire for the future. This story time, this bedtime story under the stars, becomes a tradition, a cherished meeting that happens whenever the moon is full and bright. It's a time when the community comes together, not just to listen, but to share and to grow. The moonlit legacy of authenticity and courage I began continues, passed on like a precious heirloom from one generation to the next, ensuring that the true magic of our lives is not in the fantastical adventures we embark on, but in the realness we bring to every moment of our existence.